Hey there. So, in this lesson, we're going to be talking about the structure of the IELTS test. Let's dive right into it and not waste any of your time or my time. So, here's the structure of the IELTS test. So, the test is going to last about 1 hour, and this is going to be the last skill, which means the last thing you're going to do on your test. So, as you may already know from our introductory course, or I don't know, from any kind of knowledge that you got, the the writing skill is the last one, right? So there's going to be the speaking, which is separated from all of the other skills. And then you go to the test center to take the other parts. You start with the listening, and then you go through the reading, and then the last one that you do is the writing. So why is this very important in terms of our general strategy? Because you're going to be very tired. Can you imagine you've been through like 40 minutes of listening and then 1 hour of reading, and then you have one more hour to go for the writing, which is, we can agree, the most difficult of all skills. So that is going to be very important for you to have in mind. Have in mind that you're going to get tired and you're going to be there tired. So we better prepare for that, right? Have that in mind. And when you're practicing, make sure that you understand that it's going to be the last one and you're going to be tired. And the total test time is 1 hour, and we're going to be talking about this in a little bit. So there are two test types. There's the general training and the academic tests, right? You need to understand, of course, first which one you're going to take. Oh, I'm going to immigrate to some country. So it's usually the general training test that you're going to take. Whereas if you're going to study somewhere, if you're going to college, university, whatever, you might take the academic test. So it really depends on what your purpose is. There are two tasks in each, in the writing part. So there's task 1 and task 2. When it comes to the general training and the academic, the only thing that changes is actually task 1. But of course, I'm going to go into detail of that too. The recommended time for everything is 20 minutes for task 1 and 40 minutes for task 2. And I'm going to explain why this is recommended. So I mentioned at the beginning that the whole test lasts 1 hour, right? Task 2 is actually worth twice as much as task 1, which means that task 1 is 33% of your general score for the writing test. Therefore, task 2 is going to be worth 66% of your writing score. So which means that task 2 is longer. It's going to demand more from you, right? So that's why you're going to use 20 minutes for task 1 and 40 minutes for task 2. However, on test day, this is not actually divided. Like nobody's going to tell you like, oh, you have 20 minutes for this, go ahead. Now that you're done, you have 40 minutes for this, go ahead. No, this is not going to happen on test day. On test day, they're going to give you 1 hour and then you have to finish everything in 1 hour. So it is actually up to you to manage the time. It is not up to the people who are there or the examiners or anybody else. So you are going to manage your own time. So that's why we recommend this, okay? Because task 1 is shorter, task 2 is a little bit longer, a little bit more complex. So this is what we recommend. However, you can come up with your own strategies and then see whatever works for you. You never know. Let's move on. So for the general training task 1, which I said is different in the general training or the academic, for the general training task 1, it's a letter format or an email. So this means that you're going to be writing a letter or an email with at least 150 words. We're going to get into detail of how everything works further down the line in another lesson, but I just want you to understand the structure in this lesson now. So the structure is pretty much that, like you have a letter format and then you have to write at least 150 words. For academic task 1, you're going to work with a graph or similar format. So it could be a map. It could be a flow chart, a pie chart, a line chart, a graph, a bar chart, a spreadsheet. There could be all kinds of different visual cues. So there's going to be a visual cue and you're going to be working with that. For that, you have to write at least 150 words as well. So for task 1, no matter which test it is, general training or academic, you have to write at least 150 words. Then for task 2, it's going to be the same for both test types, where you have to write an essay with at least 250 words. Yes, so this is the same. Doesn't really matter if you're taking the general training or the academic test. You will be doing the same thing on task 2. You're going to be writing this essay that has at least 250 words. Okay, so this is pretty much it for this lesson. I just wanted you to understand the structure of the IELTS writing test before, of course, you start this and you dive in to all of this. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.